What if I told you that the reason your energy feels drained, the reason your erections aren't what they used to be, the reason you've been pulling away from intimacy, not out of choice, but because something just feels off, has nothing to do with getting old? What if this slow fade you've been blaming on age was actually your body waving a white flag, asking for help in the only language it knows how? See, I'm Dr. James. I've spent over 30 years working with men over 60. And I need to tell you something that most doctors won't. It's not always age that's taking your fire. It's neglect. It's misinformation. It's what happens when your body runs low on the exact fuel it needs to function like the man you remember being. And here's the good news. You can change it. This week. Naturally. Without a single pill. Let me ask you something, and I want you to be honest with yourself. When was the last time you woke up with that natural morning firmness, that subtle, undeniable sense that your body was alive and ready? When was the last time you looked in the mirror and saw not just an older man, but a man who still had that edge? If it's been a while, you're not alone. In fact, over 70% of men over 55 experience the same decline. But here's where most of them go wrong. They think it's permanent. They think the ship has sailed. So they stay quiet. They stop trying. And slowly, they disappear from themselves. But that's not going to be you, not after today. Because what I'm about to share with you isn't theory. It's not fluff. It's a step-by-step way to reignite your drive, your sensitivity, and your confidence, by working with your body, not against it. No drugs. No awkward clinic visits. No gimmicks. Just a few natural oils, used the right way, in the right order, over the course of 7 days. That's all it takes. I've seen it happen again and again. Men who thought they were done. Men who quietly grieved the part of themselves they thought they'd lost forever. Suddenly waking up with warmth in their lower belly. Feeling more alert. More emotionally connected to their partners. More alive. And it starts with understanding one very simple truth. You are not broken. Your body is just waiting for you to show up. To give it the tools it needs to heal. And it doesn't have to take months or years. Sometimes, the difference starts within days. Now, before we dive into the oils themselves, there's something I need you to understand. You don't have to become a new person. You just need to return to the person you already were, before stress, poor circulation, declining hormones, and years of silence dulled the signals. And believe it or not, that process doesn't start in the bedroom. It starts in your bloodstream. It starts in your nervous system. It starts in the tiny chemical messengers that regulate your mood, your drive, and your ability to feel pleasure. There's a kind of loneliness most people don't talk about. It doesn't show up in your calendar. It's not the kind you feel at a party or when the kids forget to call. This is the kind that happens when you're lying next to someone you love, and yet you feel completely alone. Because your body just isn't responding. You want to reach out. You want to feel connected. But the moment passes. And instead of intimacy, what fills the air is awkward silence, frustration, or worse, shame. I've had men sit across from me with tears in their eyes, whispering, "Dr. James, I still love my wife. I just don't know how to show it anymore." And it's not because they don't care. It's because deep down, they're scared. Scared of trying and failing. Scared of disappointing her. Scared of being reminded, yet again, that the man they used to be, might be gone. This is the silent crisis. Millions of good men over 60 are quietly withdrawing, not because they've stopped feeling, but because they've stopped believing. And here's what makes it even worse. No one talks about it. Society makes jokes about old guys losing it. Doctors hand out pills without ever asking how you feel. And even your closest friends, they'll talk about their golf swing before they ever admit they haven't had an erection in months. So what happens? You pull away. You pretend it's fine. You tell yourself it's just age. And bit by bit, you start fading out of your own life. But here's what I need you to hear right now. It doesn't have to be that way. Because this loss of connection, it's not your fault. It's not a reflection of your masculinity. And most importantly, it's not permanent. The truth is, your body is still capable. The system is still there. It's just been starved of the fuel, the support, and the attention it needs to come back online. Think about it like an old radio. You didn't throw it away just because it got dusty. You cleaned it, adjusted the dial, and suddenly, music again. That's your body. Underneath the frustration, the self-doubt, and the silence, it's still there. It's still you. And once you understand the simple biological reasons behind the change, once you start using the right natural tools to reset circulation, support your hormones, and wake up your nervous system, you won't just feel better. You'll feel seen again. Wanted. Connected. Whole. And it starts with one small shift, one drop, to be exact. In the next section, I'll introduce you to what I call the forgotten fuel for male vitality. A golden oil pressed from one of nature's most underrated seeds. It doesn't just support testosterone, it helps restore blood flow, sensation, and the quiet confidence you thought you'd lost. Let's bring you back. And it starts with pumpkin seed oil. Let's get one thing straight, your testosterone didn't just vanish. It didn't decide one day to walk out and never come back. It faded. Slowly. Because the fuel it needed to keep burning, was never replaced. And the craziest part? That fuel has been sitting on grocery store shelves this whole time. I'm talking about pumpkin seed oil. Not the kind you drizzle on a salad for flavor. I'm talking about the dark, golden oil cold-pressed from raw pumpkin seeds, thick, rich, and loaded with the very mineral your hormones are screaming for. Zinc. Zinc is the ignition switch for testosterone. It's like trying to start a car without a spark plug. No zinc. No fire. And while plenty of men pop zinc supplements, here's what they don't realize. Most of those pills barely absorb. You swallow them, and your body flushes half of it out before it even gets to your bloodstream. But pumpkin seed oil? Now that's different. It delivers bioavailable zinc, meaning your body can actually absorb and use it. No waste. No filler. Just real, usable support for testosterone production. But zinc is just the beginning. This oil is packed with phytosterols, natural plant compounds that do two things exceptionally well. 1. They support blood flow to the penis by relaxing and widening tiny vessels. 2. They reduce mild inflammation around the prostate, keeping things moving smoothly downstairs. Translation. You're restoring the internal plumbing and the hormonal fire at the same time. Now I want you to imagine this. You wake up after just a few days of taking pumpkin seed oil. And something feels different. There's warmth in your lower belly. Your energy feels steady instead of dragging. You look in the mirror and think, wait, is this really happening? Yes. It is. That's the power of reintroducing your body to the fuel it's been quietly begging for. You didn't need a prescription. You didn't need a doctor poking and prodding. You just needed to support your system like it was meant to be supported. So how do you use it? Simple. Take 1 tablespoon, about 15 milliliters, of cold-pressed pumpkin seed oil each morning on an empty stomach. Drink it straight. Or mix it with a bit of warm water or your morning smoothie if the taste isn't your thing. Stick with it for 5 to 7 days. That's all I ask. Most men report feeling the difference by day 4, stronger morning responses, more stable energy, and a quiet return of confidence. But listen, this is just the first gear. You've added the spark. Now it's time to build the pressure. Because the next oil I'm going to show you, it's not just fuel. It's flow. And flow is everything when it comes to restoring performance. Up next, the oil ancient healers called the cure for everything but death. Black seed oil. Let's unlock the fire in your blood. You've added the spark. Now it's time to open the pipes. Because here's the truth most men don't hear until it's too late. You can have all the testosterone in the world. But if blood isn't flowing where it needs to go, you're stuck with the engine running, and no wheels on the ground. That's where black seed oil comes in. They used to call it the cure for everything but death. And honestly, when it comes to male vitality, that's not far off. This oil is pressed from tiny black cumin seeds. Nothing fancy. But inside those seeds is a compound called thymoquinone. A natural powerhouse that helps your body produce something crucial, nitric oxide. Now stay with me, this part matters. Nitric oxide isn't a supplement. It's a messenger molecule your body makes to tell blood vessels to relax and open up. When you were 25, your body made it without even thinking. That's why you could get aroused just thinking about her smile. But after 50, your nitric oxide production starts to drop. Which means your vessels stay tight, your blood flow slows down. And even if you want to perform, your body just can't deliver. Black seed oil turns that process around, gently, naturally, and fast. By boosting nitric oxide, it helps blood reach the places you need it most. That means stronger erections, improved sensitivity, and a noticeable return of physical response, even if it's been a while. But the benefits don't stop there. Black seed oil is also one of the most potent natural anti-inflammatories on Earth. And here's why that matters to you. The smallest blood vessels in your body, especially the ones in the pelvic region, are the first to suffer when there's chronic, low-grade inflammation. Stress, processed food, alcohol, lack of sleep. They all build up like gunk in old pipes. And when those pipes are inflamed, blood can't flow. No matter how badly you want it to. Black seed oil helps clean that out. It soothes inflammation, improves vessel elasticity, and supports smoother, fuller blood flow. Especially where it counts. So how do you use it? It's easy. Take 1 teaspoon, about 5 milliliters, in the morning on an empty stomach. And another 1 teaspoon before bed. You can take it straight, or mix it with warm water if the taste is strong for you. Some guys even blend it into a bedtime herbal tea. Stick with it for at least 5 to 7 days. Most men notice a change in morning firmness, a warmer feeling in the lower abdomen, and more endurance, both in bed and in everyday movement. But this isn't just about blood. This is about reactivating the rhythm of your body. That natural drive that tells you, I still got it. And if pumpkin seed oil lights the engine, and black seed oil clears the road, then what's next? Pomegranate seed oil. It doesn't just carry blood. It repairs the very vessels that move it. It's the difference between forcing performance, and building a system that works for the long haul. Let's talk about how to heal those inner highways, from the inside out. It's not enough to boost blood flow. If the highways are damaged, the traffic still gets stuck. That's what happens inside your body. You can have all the testosterone and nitric oxide in the world. But if your blood vessels are stiff, inflamed, or breaking down, your performance stays flat. That's why the next oil in this protocol isn't just about fuel or flow. It's about repair. From the inside out. And no oil does that better than pomegranate seed oil. This isn't some trendy fruit juice we're talking about. It's the thick, golden oil extracted from the seeds of pomegranates. Rich in a rare fatty acid called punicic acid. Punicic acid does something truly powerful for men over 60. It helps your body produce testosterone naturally again. Not by forcing it. Not by mimicking it like synthetic hormones. But by supporting your adrenal glands and testes, giving them the raw materials they need to wake up and do their job. It's like handing your body the blueprint and tools it lost years ago, and saying, build again. But the real magic of pomegranate oil? It's what it does to your blood vessels. Over the years, your arteries take a beating. Stress. Toxins. Oxidative damage. The delicate inner walls, especially in the vessels that feed your lower regions, start to scar, stiffen, and close in. Imagine a garden hose that's been left out in the sun for years. Cracked, rigid, clogged in spots. Pomegranate seed oil acts like a healing balm. It's loaded with antioxidants that do three things. Reduce oxidative stress in the vessel lining. Restore elasticity, so vessels can open wider, more easily. Prevent plaque buildup by healing microtears. The result? Blood flows better. Not in a forced, artificial way. But in a natural, long-lasting rhythm that supports healthy erections, energy, and clarity. This oil isn't flashy. But it's foundational. It's the repair crew your vascular system has been waiting for. So how do you use it? Simple. Take 1 teaspoon of cold-pressed pomegranate seed oil daily, preferably with a meal that includes some fat to boost absorption. After about 10 to 14 days, most men report noticeable changes. More morning fullness. Sharper focus. And something they didn't expect. A deeper sense of readiness throughout the day. You're not pushing your body. You're rebuilding the system that used to work on its own. And once that foundation is in place, testosterone supported, blood flowing, vessels healing, there's one more key piece we need to talk about. It's the part most men overlook. And it's why even with good hormones and healthy blood flow, some guys still feel numb. Disconnected from sensation, from intimacy, from themselves. The problem isn't down there. It's the nerves. And the next oil I'll share with you is designed to wake up your sensory system. So you don't just perform. You feel it again. Let's talk about evening primrose oil, and how it brings pleasure back online. Let's be real, what's the point of performance if you can't feel it? For so many men I've spoken with, the problem isn't just getting an erection. It's that the sensation is dulled, blunted, disconnected. You go through the motions, but it doesn't feel like it used to. And deep down, that's what hurts the most. This isn't just about sex. It's about intimacy. It's about feeling alive, present, and connected, to her, and to yourself. And the piece no one talks about enough? Nerve health. By the time you're 60, your nerves, especially the ones in the pelvic region, have taken years of wear and tear. Poor circulation. Chronic stress. Sitting for long hours. All of it gradually weakens the electrical signals traveling through those tiny neural pathways. So even if your blood flow improves, even if your hormones are back on track, if your wires are frayed, you still won't feel fully switched on. That's where evening primrose oil comes in. Now I know, this oil is often marketed toward women. Hormonal balance. Menopause. Skin health. But let me tell you something most guys don't know. Evening primrose oil is one of the most powerful natural tools for restoring nerve sensitivity in men, especially below the belt. It's rich in something called gamma-linolenic acid, GLA, a rare omega-6 fatty acid that acts like insulation for your nerves. GLA helps rebuild the myelin sheath, the protective layer around nerve fibers that allows signals to fire quickly and clearly. Think of your nerves like electrical wires. If the coating wears thin, the signal gets weak or scattered. But when the myelin is strong, the signal travels clean and sharp, resulting in heightened sensation, faster reaction, and deeper pleasure. That's what GLA helps restore. And most men have never even heard of it. But there's more. Evening primrose oil also supports the production of prostaglandins, hormone-like compounds that regulate blood flow, arousal response, and sensitivity. So instead of pushing your body to perform, you're retraining it to feel again. To respond. To awaken. So here's how you use it. Take 1 capsule of evening primrose oil, typically 1000 milligrams, twice a day. Once in the morning, once in the evening, preferably with food. Be consistent. 10 to 14 days is when most men start noticing a shift. Touch feels sharper. Response time improves. And intimate moments begin to feel exciting again, not just routine. You're not just turning something on. You're bringing something back. And once the nerves are awake, everything else starts to click. Circulation. Hormones. Mood. Confidence. But we're not stopping there. Because even when the body is firing on all cylinders, there's one more system that can still hold you back, your mind. If stress, distraction, or mental fog are clouding your focus, your body won't be able to fully respond, no matter how hard it tries. That's why the next oil we'll talk about isn't for your bloodstream. It's for your brain. And it's been used for centuries to enhance clarity, memory, and yes, sexual control. Let's talk about rosemary oil, and how it unlocks the power of your most important sex organ, your mind. Let's talk about the part of your body that most men forget when it comes to sex. Your brain. Not your biceps. Not your abs. Not even your penis. Your brain. Because here's the truth. You can fix your hormones. You can restore blood flow. You can even repair nerve endings. But if your mind is distracted, foggy, or under stress, everything else breaks down. You can be with the woman you love, fully in the moment physically. But if your head is spinning with stress, deadlines, past failures, or that voice that whispers, "What if I can't perform again?" your body won't respond. And that's not a willpower issue. It's neurochemistry. Stress hijacks the nervous system. It raises cortisol. It dulls testosterone. It pulls blood away from your core and sends it to your limbs, your fight or flight response. So even if your heart is in it, your body goes offline. You feel distant. Disconnected. Frustrated. That's why you need to support the brain first. Not just emotionally, but biologically. And there's one essential oil that does that better than anything else I've seen in 30 years of working with men. Rosemary oil. This isn't just some nice-smelling herb from your spice rack. It's a neurological powerhouse. Rosemary contains 2 potent compounds, rosmarinic acid and carnosic acid, both of which are proven to increase blood flow to the brain, enhance memory, improve focus, and stabilize mood. And when brain circulation improves, so does clarity. So does presence. So does confidence. But here's the kicker. Rosemary oil also helps balance DHT, a form of testosterone that, when too high, can lead to irritability, brain fog, and even a loss of genital sensitivity. By helping modulate DHT, rosemary keeps your hormones in check. Masculine but smooth. Strong but steady. So how do you use it? It's simple and powerful. Each morning, take 3 to 4 drops of rosemary essential oil. Dilute it with a carrier oil like coconut or jojoba. And apply it to your temples and the back of your neck. These are high absorption areas near the brain's vascular channels. You'll feel a gentle warmth, a lift in alertness, and often, a mental calm that lasts for hours. Some men like to diffuse rosemary oil in their workspace or bedroom for a deeper effect. After a week, most notice sharper thinking, more mental stamina, and best of all, less pressure in intimate moments. You're no longer trying to force arousal. You're simply present, mind, body, and spirit working in sync. And when your brain stops working against you, your body finally gets permission to perform. Now that you understand the power of each oil on its own, The question is, what happens when you combine them? You get something I call the 7-day Vitality Reboot Protocol. A simple, natural formula that activates all three systems that control your sexual health. Your hormones, your blood flow, and your nervous system. Not separately. Together. In harmony. Like a symphony where every instrument plays the right note at the right time. And when they do, the results are nothing short of life-changing. You're not just boosting one thing. You're rebooting the entire circuit. Here's how to make it. In a small glass bottle, mix the following. 10 drops pumpkin seed oil. 10 drops pomegranate seed oil. 10 drops sandalwood essential oil. 5 drops pine needle essential oil. 3 drops ylang ylang essential oil. 2 teaspoons cold-pressed coconut oil, as your carrier base. Shake it gently. Seal tightly. Keep it in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. Each night before bed, take 1 teaspoon of this blend. Apply it from the base to the shaft of the penis, using slow, circular motions. Massage it in gently for 5 minutes until fully absorbed. Do not rinse. Let it soak in and work overnight, when your body enters its natural recovery cycle. Repeat this ritual every night for 7 consecutive days. Why at night? Because this is when your testosterone levels are naturally recharging. It's when your nervous system resets. And it's when your blood vessels are most receptive to deep restoration. Now here's the internal support. Starting on day 3, add this simple morning step. Take 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seed oil orally, on an empty stomach. This fuels your system from the inside while the nighttime formula works externally. And here's what you can expect, day by day. Day 1 to 2, a warm, tingling sensation in your pelvic region. Slight energy lift. Day 3 to 4, blood flow improves. Morning erections begin returning. Day 5 to 6, sharper sensitivity. Mood and physical stamina feel more stable. Day 7, a full body sense of readiness, like a light switch turned back on. Some men describe it as coming home to themselves. Others simply say, I feel like me again. This protocol is not magic. It's biology done right, with the right tools, the right timing, and a rhythm your body already understands. But here's the key. You must follow it consistently. Not perfectly. Just faithfully. 1 week. 1 oil blend. 1 small daily commitment. And if this is what you can feel in 7 days, imagine what's possible when you build a daily habit around it. That's exactly where we're going next. Because after the reboot, comes the routine. The simple morning rituals that keep your strength, your connection, and your confidence fully alive. Let's talk about how to make this last, for good. You've done the work. You've reignited the system. Now the question is, how do you keep it lit? Because here's the truth. Rebooting your sexual vitality isn't the hard part. Maintaining it is where most men fall short. Not because they don't care, but because no one ever showed them how to keep momentum with small, repeatable steps. That's why I always tell my patients. Your first hour of the day shapes your hormones, your circulation, and your energy for the next 16. It doesn't take a complicated routine. Just a few intentional habits, done consistently. Let me walk you through what I call the morning spark formula. It's simple. It's doable. And it works. 1. Rehydrate with warm water, before anything else. The first thing you put into your body each morning matters. Before coffee. Before food. Before checking your phone. Drink a full glass of warm water, ideally prepared the night before. It wakes up your organs, thins the blood, jumpstarts digestion, and helps blood flow smoothly throughout the day. Men who skip hydration often experience sluggish circulation without even realizing it. 2. Light movement plus breath, 5 minutes only. You don't need a gym. You don't need a mat. What you need is motion. Do a few simple movements, shoulder rolls, knee bends, slow twists at the waist. Combine this with deep nasal breathing. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6. This sends oxygen to your pelvic region, lowers stress hormones, and signals your nervous system, we're alive and ready. 3. Morning sunlight, 5 to 10 minutes, skin exposed. This one's a game changer. Step outside in the early morning, shirtless if possible. Just 5 to 10 minutes of direct sunlight on your skin can boost natural testosterone, reset your circadian rhythm, and trigger dopamine, the motivation molecule. No pill can mimic what the sun does for your male biology. 4. Internal fuel, 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seed oil. If you started using this during the 7-day reboot, keep going. This is your daily internal testosterone support. 1 tablespoon, taken straight or in a smoothie, every morning on an empty stomach. Think of it like brushing your teeth, but for your hormones. 5. Quiet mind, clear focus. Before diving into the noise of the world, take 1 minute, just 60 seconds. Close your eyes. Say something to yourself that grounds you. It can be a simple reminder. I'm not past my prime. I'm just getting smarter about how I live. That kind of mental framing sets the tone not just for your mood, but for your body's willingness to cooperate with you. When you do these small things each morning, you're sending your system a message. We're still in this. We still care. We still show up. And the beautiful part? It compounds. Days become weeks. Weeks become momentum. And before long, you're not trying to maintain your vitality. You're living it, naturally. But if you've made it this far, there's one last thing we need to talk about. It's not biological. It's not physical. It's the deeper fuel behind all of this. Inspiration. Because even the best routine won't last without it. In the final section, I'll show you how to stay driven, how to stay connected to the why behind your comeback. So this doesn't become a phase. It becomes who you are now. This was never just about performance. It's never been about chasing some perfect moment in the bedroom. It's about something far deeper, something every man quietly hopes for but rarely says out loud. To feel like himself again. Because when you lose that, when the fire dims, when touch feels distant and desire fades, you start questioning things you never used to. Am I still the man I was? Do I still have what it takes? Does she notice? Does she miss me the way I miss myself? I've heard these questions for decades. They don't come from weakness. They come from men who care, men who fought hard their whole lives. But somewhere along the way, stopped fighting for themselves. And here's the truth I need you to remember. This isn't about turning back time. This is about turning toward yourself. With clarity. With strength. With presence. Every oil you've used. Every breath you took during that morning stretch. Every time you showed up for your body, even when it felt easier to give up. That wasn't about libido. That was a man saying, I matter. My health matters. My energy, my connection, my spirit, it all matters. That's the real shift. Not just blood flow. Not just testosterone. But identity. And when that returns, everything else changes. You speak differently. You move differently. You show up in your relationship, not out of obligation, but with presence. And she feels it. Even if she can't explain it, she knows. You're back. Not the younger version of you. Not some idealized image. But the man who looks in the mirror and knows who he is again. That's why I created this protocol. Not to sell hope in a bottle. But to remind you that your body still remembers how to heal. It just needed the right signal, and the right commitment. And if you've made it this far, you've already proven something most men never do. You stayed with it. You took action. You listened to your body instead of ignoring it. And that deserves more than a quiet nod. That deserves respect. So as we close this chapter, I want to invite you to something bigger. Don't stop here. Stay curious. Stay consistent. Stay open. Because the next level of this journey isn't about restoration. It's about elevation. Bigger energy. Deeper connection. Sharper purpose. And I'll be right here, walking that path with you. If this video helped you in any way, I'd be grateful if you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss the deeper conversations we're about to have on male vitality, aging, and everything in between. And if you'd like to support our mission of helping men across the country reclaim their health naturally, consider making a small donation to the channel. It helps us reach more men. Men just like you, who might still be sitting in silence, waiting for a sign that it's not too late. Let's be that sign. Together.